The Grand Meridian Hotel in Midtown Manhattan glitters like a trophy. Crystal chandeliers throw hard light over designer gowns, tuxedos, and the Rossi family crest stamped on every menu. Cameras click. Donors smile. The charity banner says it is for youth shelters. Everybody knows it is also for power. Vincent Rossi stands at the center of it all, a black suit cut sharp as a blade. His face is calm, his gaze colder than the champagne. He moves through greetings like he is counting exits. Isabella Marin stays one step behind him, straight-backed, eyes scanning. Her earpiece hums with security chatter. Her hands stay loose at her sides, ready to draw, ready to shield. She has guarded him for 10 years. She has learned every twitch that means danger. She has also learned every word that means he wants to cut her down. A woman in a red dress leans in too close, laughing at something Vincent did not say. Isabella shifts half a step, a silent wall between them. Vincent does not look at the woman. He looks at Isabella. Back off. He murmurs, lips barely moving. Do not crowd me. I am doing my job. Isabella says, voice steady. Vincent's eyes sharpen. Your job is not to stink up my air. Keep your distance. The words land where her ribs meet her heart. Isabella swallows the pain like she always does. She steps back half a pace. Her fingers curl until her knuckles pale. 10 years. 10 years of that tone. 10 years of his suspicion. He treats her like a weapon he cannot fully trust, like a debt he hates paying. A server passes with a tray. Isabella catches the flash of a ring on the server's right hand. It is not staff issue. Her instincts spike. Vincent, move. She says. Vincent keeps smiling for the cameras. Stop playing hero. You are not saving anyone. The server turns. The tray tilts. Under the linen, Isabella sees the compact shape of a pistol. Isabella steps in hard, shoulder to shoulder with Vincent, turning him away from the line of fire. Her body becomes the shield first, thought second. The lights cut. The ballroom drops into darkness. A scream breaks the air. Glass shatters. Security shouts into radios. In the black, Isabella hears the whisper of a mechanism. Not a gun slide. Something older. Something that bites once and kills quiet. A crossbow string snaps. Isabella sees the bolt only because it catches a sliver of emergency light. It is aimed at Vincent's chest. Straight for the heart. Down. She shouts. Vincent turns, too slow, too proud, too trained to believe he is untouchable. Isabella launches. Her hands slam into his shoulder, driving him sideways. She twists her body into the path of the bolt. Impact hits like a sledgehammer. The bolt punches through her shoulder blade with a wet crack. Heat floods her back. Then cold. Then burning again, deeper than the wound. Isabella staggers. Blood runs fast, slick down her suit jacket. Her legs try to fold. Vincent catches her by reflex. His hands come away red. Isabella, he says. His voice is wrong. He sounds like he does not recognize it. She tries to breathe. The room spins. Her mouth tastes like pennies. Vincent. She whispers. You are safe. That is all that matters. He stares at her, frozen, as if her blood is the first real thing he has ever touched. Get the lights. Someone yells. A spotlight flickers on. Chaos floods back into color. Guests crouch behind tables. Rossi security tackles a figure near the balcony stairs. Another man tries to run, and is slammed to the floor. Vincent does not see any of it. He only sees Isabella's face turning pale, her lips trembling, her eyes staying locked on him like she is still guarding him even now. Call an ambulance. Vincent roars. Now, move. His voice rips through the room. It is not command. It is panic. Isabella's fingers clutch his sleeve. Her grip is weaker than it should be. Her skin is already cooling. Do not. She says, choking. Do not blame yourself. Vincent shakes his head, jaw clenched so tight it hurts to watch. Do not speak. Save your breath. The bolt shaft sticks out of her shoulder. Someone reaches toward it. Vincent swats the hand away. No, do not touch it. He lifts Isabella with care that looks almost terrified. He carries her through the crowd, through the screaming, through the flashing phones. Outside, the winter air slams into them. A driver runs to open the SUV door. Vincent holds Isabella close. Her blood soaks his white shirt under the suit jacket, spreading like a dark flower. Stay with me. He says, voice raw. Do you hear me? Stay with me. Isabella blinks slow. Her words are thin as paper. I promised my father I would protect you. Vincent's throat tightens. Stop talking about promises. Isabella tries to smile. It looks like it costs her everything. I kept it. Her eyelids flutter. The poison starts to drag her down. She shakes once, a small tremor, like her body is fighting itself. Vincent presses his forehead to hers for a heartbeat. He does not know he does it until it is done. Please, he whispers. Do not die on me. The sirens finally arrive. Red and blue light washes over his face. The paramedics rush in. They load her onto a stretcher, keeping the bolt in place, hanging 4 bags and oxygen. Vincent climbs into the ambulance without asking permission. One paramedic blocks him. Vincent's eyes go flat. Move. The man moves. Inside, Isabella's breathing stutters. Her pulse is racing. The monitor beeps too fast. Vincent grips the side rail. His hands shake. He has faced guns, knives, and betrayal. He has never faced this. The ambulance screams through Manhattan. Vincent watches the ceiling lights streak by. He watches Isabella's lips part like she wants to say something, then fail. He remembers a dozen small scenes he buried on purpose. Isabella lifting a glass that had been meant for him, drinking first, swallowing poison, and acting like it was nothing. Isabella stepping into rain without an umbrella, holding it over him, while her own hair dripped and her shoulders shivered. Isabella always turning her back to danger so his would not be exposed. He hated her for her loyalty because it made him feel weak. He punished her for staying because he could not understand why she would. Now her blood is on his hands. He wants to tear the city apart for an antidote. He wants to go back in time and shut his own mouth. The hospital doors crash open. Doctors rush Isabella away. Vincent follows until double doors slam in his face. A red light above the operating room flicks on. Vincent stands there, breathing hard, his shirt stiff with her blood. For the first time in years, the Rossi heir has nothing he can threaten, nothing he can buy, and nothing he can shoot. He only has fear. Hours pass like a slow execution. The corridor smells like disinfectant and old coffee. Vincent paces until his shoes squeak. Security men hover at a distance, afraid to be close. Sophia Costa storms down the hall in a white coat, hair pulled back tight. Her eyes lock on Vincent and turn to fire. You, she says. You did this. Vincent does not answer. He cannot. His tongue feels too heavy. Sophia steps into his space. The bolt was coated. Neurotoxin. Whoever wanted you dead did not want to leave room for mistakes. She took it for you. Vincent's fingers curl. Will she live? Sophia's gaze does not soften. She might. She is strong. But strength is not magic. Vincent hears the word might and feels the floor tilt. Sophia keeps going, ruthless. The shoulder injury is severe. Nerves are damaged. If she wakes up, she may never have full use of her arm. She may never fight again. And if the toxin spreads further, she does not finish. She does not need to. Vincent swallows. His voice cracks. Save her. Whatever it takes. Sophia laughs once, sharp and joyless. That is rich. You used to act like she was a stain. Now you want miracles because you finally noticed she bleeds. Vincent flinches. He deserves it. A soft cough comes from behind them. Antonio, the Rossi family butler, stands with his hands folded. He looks older than he did yesterday. His eyes are sad, not surprised. Sir, Antonio says gently. There are things you need to know. Vincent's stare snaps to him. Not now. Antonio does not move. Now, because if she does not wake, you will spend the rest of your life choking on the wrong story. Vincent's jaw works. Finally he nods once. Talk. Antonio guides him to an empty waiting room. The vending machine hums like an insect. Antonio sits. Vincent does not. He stands like a man bracing for a hit. 10 years ago. Antonio says. Your father was killed. You were 13. You think you remember everything, but memory is a trick. Vincent's eyes harden. I remember Marin standing by the door. I remember the gunshots. I remember my father falling. I remember Marin missing afterward. Antonio's voice stays calm. Marin did not vanish. He was taken from that hallway in a body bag. Vincent goes still. Antonio continues. Marcus Thorne ordered the hit. Your father trusted him. He was an old lieutenant. He used that trust like a knife. Vincent's breathing turns shallow. Marin worked for my father. He was there. He did nothing. He did everything. Antonio says. He saw Thorne's men move in. He ran to your father. He tried to pull him away. He took the first bullet meant for your father. He kept fighting. He dragged your father toward the safe corridor. Your father was already dying. Vincent shakes his head, disbelief and anger twisting together. Then why did it look like betrayal? Why did the records say Marin switched the cameras? Antonio's eyes glint with restrained pain. Because Marin did it. He switched the cameras. He planted false evidence. He made it look like he was the traitor. Vincent's voice turns harsh. Why would he do that? Antonio leans forward. Because Thorne was watching everything. If Marin exposed Thorne, Thorne would kill everyone who knew, including you. Marin chose one lie to protect one boy. Vincent's hands tremble. He clenches them into fists. That is impossible. It is true, Antonio says. Marin told me before he died. He said, do not tell Vincent. He said, if the boy grows on hatred, he will burn alive. He said, let Isabella lie free. Let her leave this world. Vincent's throat tightens. Then why did she stay? Antonio looks down. Because Isabella learned the truth. She found her father's last message. She came to me and said she would not run. She said she would finish what he started. She asked me to keep quiet. She said she could handle your anger. She said, as long as you lived, her father lived too. Vincent stares at the wall like it might crack and show him a different life. All those years. All those cold words. All those punishments. Built on a lie. And she never defended herself. Sophia slams the waiting room door open. They are closing. You need to decide if you want to say goodbye in case it goes bad. Vincent's face drains. He walks to the operating room doors like he is walking to a grave. Through a narrow window, he sees Isabella on a table. Her skin is gray under the lights. Tubes run from her arms. Surgeons move like shadows. Vincent presses a hand to the glass. I did not know. He whispers. I did not know. Hours later, the red light finally clicks off. Sophia steps out, exhausted. Her mask hangs around her neck. Her eyes are bloodshot. She is stable. She says. The toxin is slowed. We cleaned the wound. We did what we could. Vincent's knees almost give. And she will wake. Sophia exhales. That depends on her. The body can heal while the mind refuses to come back. Vincent nods, once, like he can accept anything as long as she is breathing. He follows Sophia to the intensive care unit. Isabella lies still, bandaged, pale, machines breathing for her when she forgets. Vincent sits beside her and takes her hand. It is cold. His thumb brushes her knuckles, gentle, almost afraid. I am here. He says softly. I am not leaving. He stays through the night. He does not check his phone. He does not take meetings. He does not eat until Antonio forces a sandwich into his hand. The Rossi heir becomes a man in a chair, watching a heartbeat monitor as if it is the last thread holding the world together. When the nurses change shifts, Vincent helps. When Sophia adjusts medication, Vincent holds Isabella steady. When Isabella's brow twitches, Vincent leans close. I am sorry. He says, over and over. I am sorry. I am sorry. Outside the hospital, Marcus Thorne watches. Not with his own eyes. With cameras, with paid men, with the patience of a hunter. Vincent does not know that yet. All he knows is that Isabella is alive, and that his regret is finally louder than his pride. Days blur into each other. Isabella does not wake. Her lips move sometimes, soundless. Her lashes tremble. Tears leak from the corners of her eyes like her dreams are breaking her. Vincent hears her whispers in the dark. Why? She says, half asleep, half gone. Why do you hate me? Each time she asks, Vincent feels the question slice deeper. He answers anyway, because he has nothing else to offer. I do not hate you. He says. I was wrong. I was blind. I was afraid. Sophia watches him with disgust that turns slowly into something else. Not forgiveness. Not even pity. Just a grim recognition that punishment has already begun. On the fifth night, Vincent leaves the ICU long enough to shower and change. He goes to Isabella's apartment with 2 guards. The place is small, clean, almost empty. It smells like soap and gun oil. He stands in her doorway and realizes he has never been invited into her life. On the bedside table he finds a notebook. The cover is worn. The pages are packed with tight handwriting. Vincent sits on the edge of her bed and opens it. The first entry is dated 10 years ago. Today I started training with Rossi Security. Vincent looked at me like I was a stranger. I told myself I could handle it. Vincent turns the page. Today I blocked a drunk man from touching him. He told me I was disgusting. I smiled and said, yes, sir. Another page. Today he said my father was a traitor. I wanted to scream. I swallowed it. If I tell him the truth, it could get him killed. I promised I would protect him, no matter what he thinks of me. Vincent's throat burns. He keeps reading. Today he had a nightmare. He woke up and grabbed my wrist so hard it bruised. Then he shoved me away like I was poison. I did not hate him. I hated the fear in his eyes. Vincent's hands shake. Today I took a sip from his glass first. I tasted bitterness. I smiled. I told him it was fine. He did not even look at me. He flips pages faster, desperate and sick. Today is his birthday. I bought him a watch. He threw it into the fireplace in front of everyone. I picked it out of the ashes when nobody saw. I kept the broken face. It felt like my heart. Tears fall onto the paper. Vincent wipes them with the back of his hand, smearing ink. He reads one more entry, dated only a week before the gala. Sometimes I think my father wanted me to live, not to suffer. But I cannot stop. Vincent is still that boy in the hallway, eyes wide, blood on his cheek, trying not to cry. If I leave him alone with Thorn. If I stay, I lose myself. Maybe losing myself is the price. Vincent closes the notebook and presses it to his chest. For the first time, he understands the weight she carried. Not just bullets. Not just knives. His contempt. He returns to the hospital before dawn. He sits again by her bed. He does not try to be strong. He does not pretend to be in control. I read it. He whispers. I read what you never said. Isabella's brow tightens. A tear slips down her temple. Vincent leans close. You do not have to protect me anymore. Let me protect you. Just open your eyes. A soft alarm chirps. A nurse rushes in. Sophia arrives moments later, eyes sharp. What happened? The nurse points to the monitor. Her blood pressure spiked. Sophia checks the lines and looks at Vincent like she wants to punch him. Do not agitate her. She needs calm. Vincent nods, swallowing his desperation. I will be quiet. Quiet does not last. That afternoon, a man in scrubs walks into the ICU. His badge looks real. His face is forgettable. He pushes a medication cart. Vincent's guard at the door glances away for a second. Vincent catches the man's hands. They are too steady. The man reaches toward Isabella's foreline. Vincent stands. Who are you? The man freezes. Then he moves fast, pulling a syringe from his sleeve. Vincent grabs his wrist and twists. The syringe clatters. Security floods in. The man fights like a cornered animal. He spits blood and curses. Vincent pins him to the floor. Who sent you? The man laughs. You think you can run from Thorn. You think he will let the girl live after she saw his face. Vincent's eyes go cold enough to kill. He has the man dragged to a secure room for interrogation. Hours later, Vincent watches the recording. The assassin talks when pain makes him honest. Marcus Thorn ordered the gala attack. Marcus Thorn ordered this second strike. Marcus Thorn planned to frame Isabella's father all along. It is not rumor now. It is confession. Vincent leaves the room and walks to the roof of the hospital. The city spreads below like a sea of lights. He calls his most trusted captain. Bring everyone. Vincent says. No mistakes. No witnesses. He does not rage. He does not shout. His voice is ice. Within 48 hours, Marcus Thorn's network collapses. Safe houses burn. Accounts freeze. Loyalists flip. The man who once wore Rossi colors is dragged into a basement room. Marcus Thorn is older than Vincent by only a few years, but power has made him look ancient. He smiles anyway. You finally woke up. Marcus says. Too late. Vincent steps close. You killed my father. Marcus shrugs. He was in my way. You killed Marin. Marcus tilts his head. He was brave. Stupid, but brave. Vincent's eyes flicker, the only sign of emotion. You tried to kill Isabella in my hospital. Marcus laughs. She is the loose end. You cannot build a throne with loose ends. Vincent does not argue. He does not lecture. He ends it. When Vincent returns to the ICU, his suit smells faintly of smoke and metal. Sophia looks at him and understands without being told. Did you do it? She asks, voice low. Vincent sits by Isabella again. He will not touch her again. Sophia's mouth tightens. That does not undo 10 years. Vincent looks at Isabella's still face. I know. He takes her hand. His voice is softer than the machine's. I took your father his justice. I do not deserve yours, but I will wait anyway. Isabella's fingers do not move, but her breathing steadies, as if her body is listening. 2 weeks after the gala, Isabella's eyes open. They open slowly, like they are heavy with disappointment. Vincent is dozing in the chair beside her bed, head bowed, hand still holding hers. His hair has gone messy. His face is unshaven. He looks like a man who has been dragged through war. Isabella shifts. Pain lances through her shoulder. A small sound escapes her throat. Vincent jerks awake. His eyes lock on hers. For a second he does not move. Then his face cracks. Isabella. He whispers. Sophia rushes in, checks the monitors, checks Isabella's pupils, checks the bandages. Easy. Do not move too much. Isabella's gaze drifts back to Vincent. It is not warm. It is not relieved. It is blank, like the person she used to be died somewhere in the dark. Vincent leans forward, trembling. You are awake. Thank God. Isabella's mouth opens. Her voice is dry. Why are you here? Vincent flinches. Because She tries to sit up. Pain forces her back. She hisses and grips the sheet with her good hand. Sophia presses her down. Stop. You will tear stitches. Isabella breathes hard, then looks at Vincent with a dull kind of clarity. I cannot protect you anymore, she says. So you can stop pretending you need me. Vincent's eyes widen. That is not why I am here. Isabella gives a thin smile that has no joy. Then why? To make sure I cannot run. To make sure I cannot betray you. Vincent shakes his head hard. No. Isabella's gaze sharpens, bitterness rising. You spent 10 years telling me my father was a traitor. You spent 10 years treating me like trash. Now you sit here like a saint. Vincent swallows. I know the truth. Isabella's face twitches, a flash of something like pain, then it hardens again. You know it now. Vincent's voice breaks. Antonio told me. Sophia told me. I saw proof. Your father saved mine. He died protecting him. And I punished you for it. Isabella stares at him. Tears do not come. She is too tired for tears. I told you once, she says slowly. If you ever saw me as human, it would be when I was bleeding. Vincent reaches for her hand. Isabella yanks it away as if he is fire. Do not touch me, she says, voice shaking with anger and fear. Do not pretend you care. Vincent freezes, hands in the air. I do care. Isabella laughs, a raw sound. Care. You do not even know what that word means. Vincent looks like he is choking. I am trying. Isabella's eyes flash. Trying now, when I am broken, when I cannot fight, when I cannot do my job. That is convenient. Vincent drops to his knees beside the bed. The movement is so sudden Sophia curses. Vincent does not look at Sophia. He looks at Isabella as if she is the judge, and he is the criminal. I am sorry, he says. I am sorry for every day I made you smaller. I am sorry for every lie I believed. I am sorry I let my fear turn into cruelty. Isabella's jaw trembles. Sorry does not give me my 10 years back. Vincent nods. I know. He does not try to justify it. He does not blame his trauma. He does not say he did not mean it. He only says the truth. I loved you, he says softly. I think I always did. I just hated that I needed anyone. Isabella looks away, eyes fixed on the wall. Love does not sound like contempt. It does when it is poisoned. Vincent says. I was poisoned long before that bolt. Isabella closes her eyes. Pain pulses in her shoulder and behind her ribs. Get out. Vincent's face crumples. Please, get out. Isabella repeats, louder. I cannot breathe when you are here. Sophia steps between them. You heard her. Vincent rises slowly. He looks like he wants to fall apart, but he forces himself to stand. At the door he turns back. I will be outside. Isabella does not answer. The door closes. Vincent stays in the hallway anyway, leaning against the wall like it is the only thing holding him up. Over the next days, Isabella refuses to see him. Nurses tell him to go home. He does not. He sleeps in the chair by her door. He eats what Antonio brings. He keeps his voice down. Sophia does not forgive him. She still glowers at him, still calls him a monster when she thinks Isabella cannot hear. But she also sees him wash Isabella's clothes, sees him learn how to adjust pillows without hurting her, sees him memorize medication schedules. When Isabella has nightmares and wakes sweating, Vincent hears it through the door and stays silent, not daring to intrude. He waits until her breathing slows. Then he whispers to the closed door. I am here. I am not leaving. Sometimes, Isabella does not respond. Sometimes, a faint sound comes from inside, like a stifled sob. Vincent takes it as permission to keep waiting. Months pass. Winter turns to early spring. Isabella moves from ICU to a private room. Physical therapy begins. Each small step is war. Her left arm is weak. Her shoulder burns. She curses under her breath when she cannot lift a cup without shaking. Sophia pushes her hard. Again. Do it again. Isabella's teeth grit. I am trying. Sophia nods. Good. Keep trying. That is what saves you. Vincent watches from the corner, silent. He does not offer to help unless asked. When Isabella's balance slips, he steps forward without thinking, then stops when she flinches. He learns to control his instincts. He learns to put her comfort above his hunger to fix things. Outside the hospital, Vincent changes the Rossi empire in ways nobody expected. He shuts down operations that drag innocent people into the fire. He hunts down corruption inside his own ranks. He opens legitimate businesses and makes them clean, not just clean on paper. It is not redemption. It is damage control on a scale he never cared about before. Antonio watches him work late nights in the office. "You are building what your father wanted," Antonio says quietly. Vincent does not look up. "I am building what Marin died for." He creates a foundation in Marin's name, funding shelters and trauma programs, paying for security training for social workers in dangerous neighborhoods. The press calls it a new era for the Rossi family. Vincent does not care what the press calls it. He only cares if Isabella ever sees it. She does. Sophia shows her an article on a tablet. Isabella reads it without expression. "Do you think it changes anything?" Sophia asks. Isabella sets the tablet down. "No." But her fingers linger on Marin's name. 3 months after the gala, Isabella is cleared to leave. She stands by the hospital entrance in a coat that hangs a little loose on her. Her hair has grown out enough to brush her jaw. Her eyes are sharp again, but there is a scar behind them. Sophia holds her bag. The car is ready. Vincent waits near the curb, alone. No guards. No entourage. He holds a bouquet of white roses, the kind Isabella once said looked like quiet snow. Isabella stops when she sees him. Her shoulders stiffen. Vincent takes one step forward, careful. "I will not block you. I only want to say something once." Isabella's voice is flat. "Say it." Vincent lifts the roses, then hesitates and lowers them, as if he knows he has no right to offer anything pretty. "I know I cannot repay what I stole," he says. "I know you owe me nothing, but I love you, and I will spend my life proving it, even if you never look back." Sophia snorts. Words are easy. Vincent does not glance at Sophia, his eyes stay on Isabella. "Then I will use actions." He sinks to one knee on the sidewalk, not for drama, not for a crowd. There is no crowd. There is only the wind and the city noise. His voice is hoarse. "Give me a chance. Not today. Not this month. Just someday. If you ever decide you want to speak to me again, I will be there." Isabella stares at him. The old Isabella would have cried, would have reached out, would have tried to save him from his own pride. This Isabella is different. She takes a breath. "Vincent, I did not save you so you could worship me." He nods. "I know. I saved you because I could not stop myself," she says, voice tight. "Because my whole life was built around protecting you. That was not love. That was training. That was a promise that ate me alive." Vincent's face twists with pain. "It was love." Isabella shakes her head once. "Maybe it was. But love should not feel like being punished for breathing." Vincent closes his eyes for a second. When he opens them, tears shine, but he does not let them fall. "I will not punish you again," he says. "I will not touch you unless you want it. I will not speak if you want silence. I will not chase you into a cage. I will only wait, if you allow me that." Isabella looks at Sophia, then back at Vincent. She does not take the roses. She does not lift him up. She does not say forgive you. She only says, "I am leaving New York." Vincent nods, still kneeling. "Wherever you go, I will not follow unless you ask. But if you ever need me, call." Isabella's throat works. She turns away. As she walks toward the car, Vincent stays where he is, knee on concrete, roses drooping in his hand. He watches her leave without trying to stop her. It is the first time he proves he can love without owning. Isabella and Sophia go to a small coastal town in Italy, far from Manhattan glass and gunfire. The air smells like salt and lemons. People know each other by name. There are no sirens at night. Isabella starts to paint. At first it is just to keep her hand steady. Then it becomes a way to pull pain out of her chest without speaking. Her canvases fill with storms and shadows, and one recurring shape, a figure standing with his back to the viewer, holding a broken crown. Sophia opens a small clinic. She makes friends. She laughs more. She still watches Isabella like a hawk, ready to bite anyone who hurts her. For a while, Isabella believes she is free. Then she wakes at night and hears Vincent's voice in her memory, rough and desperate, saying, "Stay with me." She tells herself it is only trauma. She tells herself it does not matter. A year passes. One afternoon, Antonio calls. His voice is unsteady. "Miss Marin," he says. Vincent was hurt. Isabella's hand goes numb. "How?" "There was a conflict with another crew," Antonio says. "A bus driver got caught in it. Vincent pushed him out of the way. He took the hit." Isabella closes her eyes. Her chest tightens the way it did in the ballroom when the bolt flew. Is he alive? She asks. Yes, Antonio says. But he is in surgery. They do not know if he will wake. Sophia grabs the phone from Isabella. Tell him not to call you. He made his choices. Isabella takes the phone back, voice low. Which hospital? Hours later, Isabella is on a plane back to New York. She tells herself it is not love. It is closure. It is debt. But when she runs down the hospital corridor and sees the red light above the operating room, she feels her knees weaken. She sits in the chair outside the doors, the same chair Vincent sat in for her. The irony is so sharp it almost makes her laugh. Instead she cries, silent, hands clenched in her lap. Sophia arrives, breathless. You did not have to come. Isabella does not look up. Yes, I did. The hours crawl. Finally the doors open. A surgeon steps out, tired. He made it through surgery. The surgeon says. He is stable, but the trauma was significant. We cannot predict when he will regain consciousness. Isabella stands on shaking legs. Can I see him? Inside the room, Vincent lies pale against white sheets. Tubes trace his body. Machines beep with stubborn rhythm. Isabella walks to the bed and stops. She stares at his face. Without the suit, without the power, he looks younger. He looks like the boy in the hallway again. She sits and takes his hand. It is cold. Her throat tightens. Vincent. She whispers. You wanted a chance. You wanted to repay. You cannot do that if you die. Her voice cracks. She hates that it does. She hates that he still has this power. I did not forgive you. She says, forcing the words out like a shield. So you do not get to leave. You stay. You hear me. The monitor keeps beeping. Isabella leans closer. If you wake up, I will not promise you anything. But I will talk to you. I will let you try, slowly. That is the only gift I have. A long silence stretches. Then Vincent's fingers twitch. Isabella freezes. Her breath catches. The twitch happens again, stronger. Vincent's lashes flutter. His eyes open, unfocused at first, then finding her. For a second, he looks like he thinks he is still dreaming. Isabella. He whispers. She swallows hard. Do not speak. You are not allowed to die, remember. Vincent's mouth curves in a weak, exhausted smile. You came back. Isabella holds his gaze. Do not make it about you. You saved someone. You did one thing right. Vincent's eyes shine. I did it because I promised you. No more innocence. No more blood on your hands. Isabella's throat tightens again. She hates tears. She lets them fall anyway. Vincent squeezes her fingers with the little strength he has. I will keep waiting. He whispers. As long as you let me. Isabella stares at him, anger and love and old grief all tangled. One step, she says. That is all. One step at a time. Vincent nods, slow. One step. Outside the window, New York moves on, loud and bright and cruel. Inside, two people who hurt each other for a decade sit in silence that finally has space for truth. The scars stay. The past does not rewrite itself. But Isabella no longer feels like a weapon. Vincent no longer feels like a king. They hold hands and they stay.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.